And that's the beauty behind it. But in all reality, it's like, if it doesn't work out and that cranberry done me wrong and that cranberry isn't loyal to me, then that means I can pick and choose another one.
Right. So you understand what it is to be a man.
No.
But you love that one though.
No.
Oh, you're looking at it from a female perspective.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm looking at it from a human perspective.
I'm gonna tell you what's happening
It's
now.
like, it's a give and take.
Did you ever hear about the grass looks greener on the other side?
Yes, I have.
Okay. I'm usually the guy that knows the other side with everything.
Okay.
Because I'm the guy that when I see a friend of mine is married on Facebook or Instagram, and I'm like, oh, okay. But you just posted up something on Fire Island the other day. I'm a little confused. True story. And this particular person is married, got married recently, and he posted up this thing on Instagram of him on Fire Island saying, this is crazy, making a joke. But I'm like, my man, you're out there with 400 gay men dancing in boxer briefs. Point being made is, there's something internal going on there. But on a facial side, on the outside, he's the man. Feel me? On the deep end, I'm always like, I know couples that been together forever and haven't slept together in like 10 years. But then I know couples that knew each other for 3 months and they have great sex. See what I'm saying? So the reality is that anybody can make a picture look good. If you're sitting here, if this camera wasn't here right now, we would be, beyond understood. It's like, oh, it's a romantic thing. But they see a camera, it's like, oh, okay. Cop rolls up, we sit here, we chilling. See a camera, oh, they doing a project. See what I'm saying? So perception to me is everything. It's like the homeowner we was talking about. To him, he feels good. He finally got his little fruits of nature. See, I'm different. I like that shit. Don't mean nothing. Like at the end of the day, lay low and don't let nobody know who you are. Put it onto a management company. So what I'm saying is that why are men afraid to get married?
You're asking me.
You want to ask me that?
Why? Yes.
Black man? Because they're too damn horny. I'm just saying. No, the reality is that there just are too many
options.
That's a bad excuse.
Bad excuse. I'm glad.
It's a bad excuse.
But this is what we women have to take in.
We just don't want to.
Just don't want to. Okay.
Like in other words, it's
what
almost.
Are you afraid of commitment? I mean.
No, we're not afraid. That's one of the vocabularies that I want to address. It's not that we're afraid. It's that why? Like in other words, I'm doing this for you. More so than doing it for me, because men just don't say, I want to get married.
So much from women, but then it's like we can't get that entitlement.
Because you're with me. Why would I want more if you're with me? Like in other words, it's almost like, and you heard the old school saying, like, why if I'm already getting the cow?
Yes.
It's true.
You know what?
How does that go? So. If I'm already getting the milk, why do I need the cow? Yes. Like you gotta really.
See, that's really disrespectful. I had one guy tell me that. I really did.
But think about it. Think about it.
So you're saying that women now are just given more than what they should in the very beginning, and that is why a man will never want to be
I feel that women became too independent to understand what independence is. You can't be independent in a relationship. So the reality is that if we're gonna do this, we gotta do it together. So you can't give me the option of living with me, having sex with me unprotected, possibly having a baby if you get pregnant, if I slip up, to only say, oh, we should get married in 5 years. Like you have to, it's like if you're gonna be living with me, if you're gonna be with me for this amount of time, why that's even harder when the older you get. Because now you gotta think about it. It's not like you've been with her for 6 months. Person can be like, yo, 6 months, yo, we're not gonna do this any further. You can't be with me for 6, 7 years and expect that, because now the downfall of that is you're playing Russian roulette. Because now you're really gambling, because now you could be losing somebody to gain another person to do the same thing. Like that's how come the only thing men do when they get out of relationships, they'll be with you for 10 years, and then when they break up, they'll marry somebody new for 6 months. We do that. Why? Because the one that was for 6 months was, I want to marry you. I want to marry you on fire. So I admired you from day one, from 2007 and 2008, 9, 10. You're still with me. But 2007, I was willing to marry you if I had to. But you never made it an option, you never made it an issue, you wanted to move together, we looked for apartments, and we had great sex on top of the television before the television became plasma. So we've been together that long when the televisions were boxes. And now you want to talk about marriage
because all right, wait a minute. But then you question as to why a female is so pushy. So if someone within the 6 months gives that person and says, well, this is what I want, this is how I want it, and then you're like, okay, well, I don't want to lose you, being so precious to the relationship, it's like, what do you guys really have, like, connected together? I mean, that takes time. It's not gonna just take 6 months.
No, you could connect with somebody instantly. Absolutely. Let me tell you something. If you could connect,
it's very rare.
Let me tell you something. If you connect with somebody, you're not going to take a 2-3 years to connect with a person. That's not a connection. That's an adjustment.
You're right. I
If you
agree.
connect
but
with a
then
person,
everyone grows as well, and you could grow apart.
You could grow apart and you could grow together. But in the mind state of a woman, she wants to grow together. In my mind state as a man, I'm like, you're going to fuck yourself.
That there's a difference between a boy and a man. You get that?
There's not really no difference.
Yeah, there's a huge difference.
Give me an age range.
Huge difference. Okay, so I'd say from 20 to 30. You know, I'm not gonna say for every man because everyone is different by all means. But for the majority, their minds are so immature where it's like it's not on the same level as an average 20, 30-year-old woman.
Well, stand in front of the middle of the street with a damn boy shorts or a thong on, and I'll show you that any boy riding a bike, or any grown man moving around, I guarantee a fact that he's gonna respond the same way. It's the same shit.
I don't believe that.
There's no difference.
I don't
Let me
believe
tell you something. See, the thing is, women have this thing in their mind. They think that
I think if a man is so focused and has a great relationship or whatever,
he should.
Yes.
He should. But it doesn't mean he will. I get you. But it doesn't mean he will. Women have to understand there's a difference. That a 45-year-old man is no different than a 21-year-old boy. At the end of the day, if God forbid something happens to them, it's going to be 21-year-old man shot, 45-year-old man shot, 65-year-old man shot, 18 teenager shot if he's 18. But at the end of the day, the mind is still the same. It's still men. Still men. However, on a mature, righteous level, right, technically you're supposed to be having sex with the person that you're married to. Where women destroyed the game was, it's not men messed up, women messed up. Because now, women come such a dime a dozen in this world state because of the independence that they've allowed men to infiltrate, come into this whole mode of this fruits of nature, choose whatever they do and get whatever they want, how they want it.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Now, if you have a good woman, full package, you know, she's beautiful and she has career-minded. Right. Now, everybody's definition of bad female is different. So, my question to you would be, say you had that, right? Would you still be, would your mind still be in this, would you still want to do the strip clubs and, you know, looking at other women, or if someone were to throw themselves at you in a flirtatious way?
How long have you been in a relationship?
How long have you and this woman been in a relationship? Well, you're married and say 3-4 years.
I'm bored.
You're bored.
General.
Okay, so do you have to cowardly think outside and kind of like get your boredom at such a happy place and then leave her as to where she still thinks that you guys are?
No, it's not leave her. It's I don't want to hurt her. So I'm not gonna go and say I'm gonna go to the strip club and look at some big fat asses. I'm not gonna do that.
And what is that gonna do for you?
It's ambiance. It's fantasy. When you're with the person now, like at the end of the day, normally most women are not gonna give a man a threesome. Right?
Right.
Most women are not gonna put themselves in a man's general mode of a fantasy. The average fantasy a man's gonna want is.
And the one time that we do, then it's gonna be continued, right? They want this continuous.
It depends. You may want to continue with the girl. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's a dice roll.
I'm not.
What about the man that? What about the man that wants to? That I'm gonna be honest with you. You know who seems to keep their man, their woman? You're not gonna believe this. People could do they could do stats on this. The men that are keeping their women now are the swingers that are allowing men to have sex with their wives. More than the men that have threesomes. It's in the woman's anatomy to become very emotional. So sharing with her is not a good thing.
Right.
Men, on the other hand, especially black men, are not with that either. But a lot of non-black males are. So now you think about the men that are cool with it. What issue is she's gonna have? Number one, she's not going through a mode of distrust because he's having me have sex with two men. Threesomes are two men rather than two women. So that already puts it in a whole different category now because we eliminate the issue with the girl-on-girl battle. That's eliminated.
Right.
You just gotta make sure that, yo, he good. You good with that? Yeah, I'm good. And you know he good because he's allowing it. Cool. That shit seems to last longer. But the minute you do a threesome and a girl and you see me with her, I don't care how many guys you've been with, now it becomes, oh my God, you didn't tell me about it. It's just emotions.
No, you're right, yeah.
So how far are you willing to go to subject yourselves or to give your man the fantasy? And how far is he willing to go? So if he's not willing to go that far, you gotta think of the mode of, your fantasy now is gonna be a fantasy you're gonna have to commit one day in the future. If you're thinking about it now to jazz things up, what's gonna happen when you're in this relationship and that gets old? Remember what it is with us. Our fantasy number one is new pussy. So that's gonna encounter another woman. Are you able to handle that? No. You're with a man, you're with a black man. More black men are less likely to get married because black women's demands are so independent that they let us live and do whatever we want to do. And then demand shit later. Can't do that. It's almost like, let me live in a place in New York City for free for 10 years, and then you want rent, and then you're gonna give me another 8 years to get out of there. It's like, you gotta be kidding me. You just gave it to me, like, why would I do that? So there's the desire, you kind of like cheat yourself out of the desire. So now you think about, I'm gonna do this with the next man. Well, that's a risk. If the next man is willing to take you from your current man and pull you out of that situation, great. But it's a dice roll because he may have you leave Duke and then now he don't even want to be bugged.
Yeah.
That happens.
Yeah,
I fooled around with women and next thing you know, they was like, oh, I'm leaving my husband. I'm like, oh, don't do that. Because the fun part is you cheating.
Exactly.
I like the mode of you getting in the car, like, oh, you're in here and you got your bag and we take off and now it's like,
it's like when you leave the husband, you're leaving me too.
Yes,
like,
it's fun to cheat. It's one of the most.
I'm not gonna agree.
No, I mean you can't say that, but listen, I
been
can.
in that situation. Okay.
You're not. Even if you was in a situation, you haven't been in that situation. Just for the protection of
I wouldn't put myself in a situation.
Right.
Like,
but us men, we know that rush, and the women that are endured into that love it.
Right.
Because there's nothing like the rush. There's a rush of riding a motorcycle, and that's deadly. Deadly rushes.
But okay, so what about the aftermath after all this? Like,
the aftermath usually is we gotta grab it during the math. Like, okay.
So forget all the repercussions that's gonna come after it. It's just like it was fun while it lasted.
When it's presented to you, that's when you're supposed to grab it while it's hot. It's like serving up damn eggs.
And no remorse.
Can't have no remorse when it comes to your feelings.
That's crazy. So then you don't have any feelings.
You
You're
have to be
cold-hearted asshole.
So let me ask you something.
I'm sorry. It's just
if you were gay, let's just say hypothetically speaking,
yes.
and you told your family you're gay and you loved women.
Right.
I don't care what your family feels. You are going to get around to that shit somehow and do what you got to do. Because
I'm
happiness.
staying true to myself.
Right.
Okay.
So if a man staying true to himself, like, yo, fuck it, I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do to get mine.
Everybody will do whatever they have to do. But understand that there's a way to do it. You don't have to hurt people in the process. And then have, like you said, no remorse at all. Like,
but nothing's guaranteed.
Are you really human?
Nothing's guaranteed because you could have not to focus on hurting somebody and hurt them.
No,
a person could die. You can get into it. You can die. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody intends on hurting. We don't look at it. I'm gonna fuck her life up.
Why would you do that? If the table would turn, would you be able to swallow half the shit that you're spitting?
Of course not.
Exactly.
That's
so why do
nature.
it? So why do it?
None of us could. You could poke somebody. It doesn't mean you could be able to take it.
Listen.
See, the thing is, women have to realize that to accept the truth is to accept it, not to say that's not good. It's wrong, but it's true. It's we're dying. We're all gonna die one day. That sucks.
Right.
But it's the truth.
Okay.
Regardless of how messed up that shit sounds, it is the
But my thing
truth.
is, get all that shit out of your system, and then,